Continue. Now, I guess it's a new scenario, new case, right? Now, according to this, we can determine the ruling which applies with respect to our practice when we drink coffee and dip in cake, or biscuit in a coffee. Okay, so that's the case that we discussed. Many people do that. Then we clearly also have in mind both to sip the coffee and eat the cake or a biscuit. Right? It therefore seems proper that when one drinks coffee in this way, he should also make the blessing shechakol over the coffee and drink some of it, right? Before he makes the blessing over the cake or a biscuit. So first he makes on a coffee, and then he makes on a biscuit. Just 1 second, before he makes the blessing over the cake and the biscuit. The question is why he cannot do it in the other way around. I'm not sure why would they say that he cannot. I'm not sure. I mean, if you make the blessing on a piece of cake, does not cover your coffee, so you would need to make the blessing on the coffee. I'm not sure why Mishneh Berurah says. Maybe he's going to explain. He said make on a coffee and then on a cake. Let's see. However, it is preferable to make the blessing over the cake or a biscuit, okay, by itself beforehand. Okay, exactly, without soaking it. Exactly. Okay, that's the thing. Okay, so as we explained with our donut example, so he makes the blessing on a cake, right? But I mean, eat a little cake, make the blessing over the coffee, drinks a little coffee, and then if he wants to combine deep this was a cake into the coffee, there is no problem because he already made all the necessary blessings. I mean, everything is covered. Okay, 1 second. Where were we? Okay, so one more time the sentence and a few commentaries on this sentence. So there is a commentary on a commentary. However, it is preferable to make the blessing over the cake or biscuit by itself beforehand without soaking it. Okay, commentary. Since the blessing has a precedence over the blessing shechakol. Exactly. I mean, I was a little surprised. Why would he say differently? Shechakol. And should be made beforehand. Okay. So Baruch Hashem, that's what we figure out. Okay. Then then to make the blessing shechakol over the bit of sugar. First, to serve also for the coffee. Let's see. So commentary about the piece of sugar. Since once one make the blessing over the cake or a biscuit, it may no longer be able to make the blessing over the coffee, as it may be regarded as secondary to the cake or a biscuit. Okay, in such a case, although one both eats the cake or a biscuit and drinks coffee separately first. Okay, I'm not sure why would they say secondary. I mean, it would be secondary maybe, right? In the case as we said before, that's I think the answer when he wants to only dip this cake in the water, in a coffee, and he does not. And whatever left of the coffee, he's not going to drink it. Maybe this is an example that they meant. Then it's 100% secondary. But if he likes coffee, he drinks. He dips these cakes in the coffee and sometimes sips a little coffee also. So in this case, there are two separate things. Of course, you need to make two separate blessings. So one more time to conclude, we say first Baremi Nemizonis and then on the coffee, and then you do whatever you want. You want to combine, you can combine. Continue. However, it seems reasonable to assume that what he says only refers to the bits or pieces of bread which are not as large as the olive. Okay, so what does it mean? 66 commentary. For if the pieces of bread as large as olive, it is clear stated above in paragraph 10 that one should make hamotzi over it, even though it is no longer appearance of the bread. So okay. So we say if he wants to dip this piece of bread. So Mishneh Berurah started talking about the cakes, right? But Shulchan Aruch was actually talking about the bread. I mean, maybe cake for us is I think it's more popular example than more common circumstances, I would say, right? Than dipping the bread. Right, so but Mishneh Berurah says clearly if these pieces of bread are larger than kizai, so it's always hamotzi, even they don't look like bread.